All right, so hi and welcome to my follow-up video from last year's video. I think I titled it $20,000 in cash. I think that was the title of last year's 2020 video, November 2020 video. This video will be just simply a follow-up to that. I guess I'll call it something similar. I'm not sure what I'll title it yet, but it's something similar for sure. And well, now we're in 2021, actually December 7th, 2021. Um, so yeah, let's get started. Last year's video ended up being way longer than I I thought it would be. So I do want to cover a couple of points in this video that I brought up in the last video, or at least follow up or updates or whatever in regards to last year's video. But I'm going to try and keep it short anyway, as short as possible. So first and foremost, I successfully was able to change the bands. I printed out bands this year. Last year I did it. It was very spontaneous, last minute thing. I did it and I did it by hand. And anyway, if you watched the video, congratulations for being so patient and watching it completely. But you know what I'm talking about. In last year's video, I just made these bands over here. I made them out of envelope lip and pen. So I wrote the 10,000 in blue ink. This year, these bands, I took a little bit more time because I really wanted to do this ever since last year. And I printed them out for free online, so it was pretty cool. I was able to print them out, slice them up, and wrap them around some bills, and yeah, make it look really like it just came out of the bank. So I'm gonna try and take this envelope, this elastic off. With Let me see if I can. Well, I couldn't. I couldn't do it without screwing up the camera here, because I don't even know how I did it last year to film and hold the camera at the same time. But anyway, there it is. So yeah, this elastic was really tough here. Yeah, very hard to work with. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to pause this. Okay, so that was worth pausing for. So an update. I want to cover a couple of points. So number one, first and foremost, the bands, right? So as you can see, I went to the trouble this year. I printed out the bands and I wrapped not one, but two stacks of $10,000, $100 bills per stack. Last year, I know in last year's video, I had in last year's video I had last year's video I had one stack of hundreds and another stack of mostly reds, 50s, and probably 1,000 or two of hundreds. And this year, well, I was able to, save my usual $10,000 for winter. That was, zero at the beginning of the season, and now it's $10,000. And this $10,000 pile is a little bit of a history behind that one. So that one was my $10,000 pile from last year, my 10,000 in savings from last year, same pile that I had mentioned in last year's video that I may lend some to Silva. Well, at one point I did. I took $5,000, which was just a temporary loan, and I lent it to her. So I actually started this year with only $5,000, this season, chimney season in April, with only $5,000. And I actually told Silva she could take her time to pay me back the $5,000. So in the course of the 8-month season that I just completed last week, less than a week ago, today's Tuesday, I stopped working last Thursday, so 5 days ago. And although my last week to two were just a couple days sporadic work days, not fully complete work days, that's how it always goes anyway. So I actually officially finished last Thursday, and I'm completely officially finished till hopefully end of March, beginning of April 2022. So I actually rebuilt up this pile from 5,000 to 10,000, which wasn't easy. It's a $5,000 savings, while of course putting money aside for my winter, a whole 10,000. So, but this pile, the savings was something I was kind of like, I don't know, not hesitant to do. I really wanted to get back up to 10,000, stupid as it is, just to have a $10,000 pile. But it was hard. It wasn't easy. I had to, you know, put money aside that I would have preferred to have for something else. And that's what savings is. So I was able to do it. I was very proud of myself. So that's what these two piles are. I remember in my video last year, because I just watched it recently to refresh my memory, recently today. And I remember mentioning that in total I had something in the neighborhood of 22,000 or something like that, $22,000. The two stacks of 10 that I had, and some other money, cash operating money, and some other emergency money, and a couple other little things that added up to 22 or 23,000, whatever it was. I can't remember. I wanted to mention this year, so I'm going to show it, that I exceeded that this year substantially. So first and foremost, there's the two $10,000 piles giving me 20. Here is another 20 $100 bills, so another $2,000, and it's written Silva beside it because this is of the 5,000 I loaned Silva. This is 2,000 she gave me back so far. And as I said, I told her I'm not in any hurry for the money. So as long as my Uncle Bobby would say, as long as you owe me, I'm not broke. So as long as she owes me, I have money. So yeah, and even though she gave me this money, I'm gonna say, geez, something like 3 months ago, maybe more, in that neighborhood. At that point, I didn't have $10,000 saved on my own yet. I think I had maybe seven, maybe six or seven. I don't remember. Maybe even as high as 8. But in any event, I still made it a point to separate the money that I loaned Silva from the money I wanted to have stacked on my own, a $10,000 pile. So, because I got plans